Dynamics GP allows you to easily manage sales orders within your system. We're going to take a look at entering orders, transferring those orders to invoices and shipping them. We'll also look at returns processing and look at some sales inquiry tools that make it easy to keep up on your orders. So let's take a look at it. To enter an order, the first thing we want to do is go to the sales area page. So let's do that here. Go to sales transaction entry. In this screen, you can do a number of functions. You can put a quote in here, you can put an order in here, you can enter an invoice, and we'll take a look at doing a return in this window as well. But let's enter an order. So I'm just going to tab through this, accept the defaults. The system will automatically assign a number. And then let's take a look at a customer. We'll open up the customer here. This is my customer list. I'm going to select this customer. And then I'm going to put this sales order in a batch. I can call the batch whatever I want to. If the batch is not there, it's going to ask me to add this batch. I'll do that. If I want to, I can add some additional information about the batch, but I'm just going to save it. And now this order will be saved to this particular batch. The currency ID will default based on the customer, the way it's set up. And now I'm going to add a couple lines in here. So I know that I got some of these items in inventory, so I'm going to look that up. This will bring me to the item master file in that area. I'm going to select this one here, and I'm just going to select one item, one quantity, a quantity of one, and I'm going to select another item as well. Let's select this item here in a quantity of one. So this is my basic sales order. I've got this order. I can save it into the batch, but I also have some additional information which I can look at from a customer standpoint and from the item standpoint. If I go to these tabs up here, I can look at the customer detail for this particular customer. And I've got some nice tabs here at the bottom where I can look up activity for this particular customer. I can see all the sales invoices and orders. I can also take a look at some additional information about this particular customer. So these are handy tabs that have information about the customer in the sales order. So I've got my sales order here. If I want to print it out, I can just click on the print icon here. It's going to print the order, and you see I've got some other document types I can print as well. So I'm just going to select the order and print that out. And I'm going to use the standard printing tool here. This is a standard order form that comes with Dynamics GP. You can easily modify this if you want to. When I print out that order or save the order, it's going to clear the screen. To look up the document, it's pretty easy. I'm going to click on this magnifying glass here by document number. It's going to give me a list of the documents in this particular batch. I'm just going to select this one and bring it back. We can also look at the item detail for this particular order here. I'll select the line and I'll hit item detail. It's going to show me all the detail for this line item. You can see I've got a number of dates here that I can change if I want to. These all default in from the system date. I also have some additional information about this item. I can look at the item inquiry directly from this screen as well. So that is the basic order entry. Now, when this item ships, when this order ships, what I do is I transfer this order document into an invoice document. And to do that, I go up to this actions button here, click on actions, and I'm going to transfer it. I'm going to transfer it to an invoice. And what the screen means is I've got an order right here. I'm going to transfer this order to an invoice. So I'm going to select these two boxes here and hit transfer. And what it's going to do is it's going to actually create a new document. It's going to create an invoice document that has that information. If I want to, I could print this log, but I'm just going to cancel that. So now you see I've got an invoice. This is a brand new document in the system, and it has an invoice number, and it's got these items on it. So to process this, all I would need to do is then either print out the invoice, which I could do by clicking on print here, and then once this order has shipped, typically what people do is they're going to post this item. So I can post this in a batch, or I can just post it online in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the batch, which is just as easy as going to the batch ID field, deleting the batch ID, and then I'll go up to actions, and then I'm going to post. When I post this, it's going to update the inventory, it's going to update accounts receivable, and it's going to move this invoice and the related sales order into history. Next, let's take a look at how to do an easy return using the sales transaction entry screen. So what I'll do is I'll change the type ID to a return and then enter my return information. I'm going to look up the customer. We'll choose the same customer we chose before. Then I don't have to put this in a batch, but I can put it in a batch if I want to. So let's do that. Use the same batch. And now I'm going to enter the item that I want to return. And the item I want to return is this item that we previously shipped. So I'll just select that. And I'll select the quantity that I want returned. When I do that, I've got different quantity types within my inventory that I can return it to, and I must select that. So this is a good item. I'm just going to return it to my on-hand inventory. I'm going to put the quantity in there. Hit OK. So it's going to return that into inventory and into the on-hand quantity status. So now I've got my return here, and I can print that out if I want to. I'm going to select the standard format. It prints it out to my screen here, and you can see this is a basic return. So this is my return. When I post this, because it's a return, it's going to create a credit in accounts receivable, and it's going to add this back into inventory. So let's go ahead and post that now. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to save this to the batch, and then I'm going to go to the batch here by clicking on this expansion arrow right here. Let me get out of this screen here. So now I've got a batch. I've got this one item on here. And to post it, all I need to do is go to Post, click Post. It's going to post all the documents in that batch. In this case, there was just one. And then do all the posting process associated with this return. In this case, it's going to create a credit memo and accounts receivable. It's going to add the items back into inventory. It's going to do all the general ledger transactions associated with that. Next, let's take a look at some of the inquiry ability within accounts receivable. The one that I like a lot is transactions by customer. If I go to the inquiry window from the sales area page and click on transactions by customer, it'll bring up this screen here. And I'm going to look up my customer ID. Let's select this customer here. You can see in this screen, these are all the transactions are related to this particular customer. I've got 3 buckets of information. I've got work, open, and history. I just want to look at the open items. So I'm going to deselect work and history and then click redisplay. And that'll show me my open items. Here's the invoice down here. I can click on that, and this is a return. I can look at that document. Here's the document here. If I want to email that or print it out and send it to my customer, I can easily do it from this screen. So for me, this is one of the most valuable inquiry screens right here. And there are a number of other ones. You can see those listed here. But this is a very nice one because it gives me a complete picture of that particular customer. So this has been a quick look at the sales order processing module in Dynamics GP. We entered an order, we transferred that to invoicing, we shipped that, and then we also did a return on that order, and we looked at some of the sales inquiry ability within Dynamics GP.